Is it true that crystals and their energy can help with healing past life issues, challenges, relationship issues, and erase karma? Well, yes and no. So if you believe that energy is everything and everything is energy and made of it, your thoughts, your emotions, your connections to others, to yourself, and there is forgiveness and love, fear and hate. All of those are emotions, and they're also energy. Telepathy, any of these forms or labels that we put on energy has everything to do with what we believe can happen, what we believe has happened, and what we believe will never happen. Whatever you believe is true for you. And in those moments when you doubt yourself and your manifestation abilities and is it really going to happen? And yes, I experience that too, because things don't always seem, or sometimes, most of the time, don't happen when I want them to. So, yeah. And whatever we feed, whatever energy we feed, that's what's going to come about. So, fear, lack, and limitation, doubt, delays everything. And if you believe this energy healing, this metaphysical and spiritual healing with crystals, because they do have their own energies. And we're getting to the part about the Lemurians because they're one of my favorite kinds of crystals. So, whatever you believe, beautiful soul, is your truth, and I honor that. So, Lemurian quartz have unique markings, and let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a good, you can see the striations like the ridges. These are not man or human made, these are natural to the crystals. This one, I didn't know it at the time when I got it several months ago, that these were actually barnacles. They're little tiny other Lemurians and quartz on top of this particular point. This one has, I don't know the official names. It could be a sidecar, but it's a smaller one. And it also has these smaller ones here. Let's see if I can find the striations. There are also, let's see, there. Can you see that? The markings on here? I'm hoping. Maybe so. These little speckles, like the indentations, are called the libraries, starberries, and they hold a lot of information. And this one, so this one with the barnacles is from Colombia, okay? And so is this cluster. This is a Lemurian quartz cluster from Colombia. The striations are a little bit more difficult to see on this one because they are softer. And I met an amazing friend at the Tucson Gem and Mineral shows here in 2024, Ayrton J. Carby, and he taught me a lot about the markings. I always go for the energies, and I was aware before about the striations helping you to access your Akashic records. And my tongue's getting in the way. So they're an energetic stairway that can help you tap into your life purpose. Think of your Akashic records as your book of life, your life purpose chronicles, or the chronicles of your life purpose. Whether you believe in previous lifetimes in other realms or galaxies, or just on this planet, or just your past in this life, it can still help you tap into more of who you are. How do you do that? Well, you can have your fingers just kind of not rubbing, but just like a caress, like you're just trying to find a hair that's on your face. And you just softly go up and down and find a spot where your fingers rest. Then close your eyes. Maybe hold it to maybe your heart center. Not so much your throat, I don't think, unless you're wanting to communicate with your higher self and your guides or your Lemurian guides. You could hold it to your third eye. And imagine, like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, where you have the cave and it opens, sesame. Open sesame. Forget that. You could do something like so. And I would have the termination pointing out, not directly into your forehead, because that is going to be such a jolt of energy. It might be too much. Now, if you practice this a while and you want to do it that way, great. Now I'm going to put my finger over the point to demonstrate you could do something like this. Hold it like that so that the energy comes in through the termination. I like a little less major jolt, so that I tend to use my terminations, my points, one way or the other. It doesn't matter whether it's this way or that way, but the termination, I'm using a flat side, one of the facets, if you will. So, okay, we're going to use this bigger flat side. And imagine you're walking through a hall like a library. These are called starbraries, but the striations will help you connect with your own purpose. It is definitely a higher vibration. And if you have a cluster, whether it's a lithium cluster, a pink one, dark light in the middle, or a clear quartz Lemurian cluster. I was starting to get into the energy here. That is one of the challenges in working with these with y'all, doing this at the same time. Okay. So how would you use a cluster? So a cluster I would just hold in my hand, and because it's so large, I might hold it in two, but this one happens to have a natural, like a thumb place. So I just hold mine like this, naturally in my hand, okay? And I might just put it in my lap, or I might put my right hand under it and then just rest my hands in my lap, because all the terminations, and they're differently angled, okay? These are all pulling energy in from various places, directions, if you will. And so I would just hold it like this in my lap. And if you have one question, one specific question, then ask it. Help me understand my purpose. What next step helps me get to where I want to be? Or what is my next step along my path? That's even clearer. It's more succinct and easier to articulate in a way that the universe knows exactly what you're asking. And when you are super clear, beautiful soul, it's easier to get a clearer answer, to understand. Might take a little while to understand the message. And my suggestion is to have something nearby that you can write down, because once they come, the thoughts are in, they're out, and they may never return, because it's free floating energetic images, thoughts, symbols, nudges, answers, messages, and it's like a feather. Here it's there, now it's gone. It's in, now it floats out. So be aware that when you do this kind of work, especially with Lemurians, because what you're tying into, what you're wanting to connect, activate, and tune into is you, your higher self. Your higher self is connected in ways that are beyond the conscious mind's ability. Well, I wouldn't say it's ability. It's the conscious mind gets in the way of you connecting, tapping into, and activating your superconscious or your higher self, which also gets in the way because it has to be in control. It's that voice right there in the middle. How do I use these? Well, they're all around me. This one is on one of my nightstands, and this one is from Brazil. Let's see. Can you see? I'm not sure if y'all can see this. See these are the star berries on this one. It actually has quite a few on this side and this facet as well. So it's really quite powerful. I choose these, or they choose me by their energy, and then I discover things about them later. So this one is this one from Colombia, and this beautiful cluster are right on my desk, right behind where my laptop sits. So just right over the edge here. How do they help me? Clear my mind, help me tap into and fine-tune my intuitive capabilities, my intuition, and really help me connect with my guides. I wrote some notes here because I am an introverted extrovert, meaning I could very easily not talk to people for days and be okay with that. Now, I didn't used to be, because I didn't know how to be alone with myself. But the more I became in tune with energy and raising my own, doing my own healing, and working with my clients, the easier it became to be, I just need the quiet to recenter, to recharge. The Lemurians help me be okay, become more comfortable most days with who I am. And I'm still learning who that is, because there's so much outside programming and influences. No blame, no, not denying things, just those are the way it is, right? So what can you use Lemurians for? You can use them for channeling insights, understanding messages, connecting with source, your guides, and your higher self, grounding your nervous energy when you're working on a huge project, healing past life experiences. And then you can begin to transmute the karmic debt, the karmic ties, to eliminate and dissolve them. And they are also helpful for your life purpose, getting clarity and guidance. And even if you're not aware of or thinking you're not getting something specific right in that moment, perhaps your vibration needs to be higher, clearer. Maybe your mind and your heart need to be a little more open to be where the energy, the messages, the intuitive guidance, and you, your physical self, can meet, so that you can begin to really tune in, really tap in. And it takes practice. It really does. I just love these guys so much. The barnacles. I see them as like a boost to get into your own energies and to release anything from the past, whether it's 10 minutes ago, 10 weeks, 10 years, or 10 lifetimes ago, and just really clear things up. Be aware that as you clear things, emotions, energies, cut karmic ties this lifetime or from somewhere else, you clear out blockages, you raise your inner vibration, and you will tend to feel or sense things more easily, which, there's an upside and a downside to that. So make sure that when you are out and about that you protect yourself energetically. What experiences have you felt with working with Lemurian quartz crystals? Do you have any questions? Pop that down there. All right, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here.